Hello, and welcome back to the latest episode of Talk That to Me. I am your host, Shahana. And yes, it is Monday. And I had every intent on posting that video yesterday. And then I got really sick. And I said, let me lay down for a few minutes. And when I woke up, it was Monday. So I so apologize. I am still laying down. Honestly, if I can be 1000% transparent, I'm recovering. I don't even know what I got. Cold, I don't know. It doesn't matter. The point is, I am here. The episode is here. I am excited to be recording because I wanted to share with you guys a wonderful experience I recently had. So, maybe this is fitting because lately I've been thinking a lot about actually living your life instead of waiting for the perfect conditions to live it, right? That was something that held me captive for so many years. Recently, I went to see Kehlani in concert 2 weeks ago, 1 to 2 weeks ago, by myself. And not only did I go to the concert by myself, I went to see the afterparty too, by myself. And I had a phenomenal time. I had a really good time. And afterward, I started thinking, how many experiences do we miss because we're waiting for somebody to go with us? So that's what we're actually talking about today. No headlines, no heavy news, just a CTRL ALT DREAM. So let's talk. I think we spend a surprising amount of our lives waiting for somebody to go to the restaurant with us, waiting for somebody to take the trip with us, waiting for somebody to go to the concert, waiting until we're in a relationship, waiting until our friends are available, waiting until we have more money, waiting until life calms down. And eventually, you have to ask yourself, how long am I willing to put my own life on hold? How long? How long can I put my life on hold? How long should I do that? Because other people have lives too. They have schedules, they have priorities, they have fears, they have responsibilities. And if every experience you want requires somebody else to say yes first, you've basically handed somebody else veto power over your life. I don't want that anymore. Going to that concert alone reminded me of something. Once I actually got there, I wasn't thinking about being alone. I was listening to the music. I was watching the show. I was enjoying myself. And then I went to the after party. And that's when I really had to laugh at myself because I could have easily talked myself out of it. Girl, you are by yourself. You don't know anybody. Just go home, Shana. Just leave. But I went. And guess what? I survived. More importantly, I had an experience. And that's the part I've been thinking about. Sometimes confidence doesn't come before you do something. Sometimes confidence is the receipt you get after you do it. You do the thing scared. Do the thing awkward. You do the thing alone. And afterward, you realize, I can trust myself. And that is powerful. I've just been in this ever since 2023. I have been in this space of loving myself and really prioritizing healing that inner child, healing the teenager, healing the grown woman, healing me, healing, going through that healing, on this healing journey, for myself. And it's one of the most freeing things I have ever done. A month or so ago, I remember saying to myself, because there was something that I needed to do, and everything was coming up as to why I should do this thing. And I said, you know what? I'm just ripping a Band-Aid off. No matter what it is, I'm ripping a Band-Aid off. I'm just doing it. And I've not stopped doing it ever since. My life has literally changed for the better since I've prioritized myself. And that sounds so selfish. Like, saying that out loud, that sounds so selfish. So selfish. But if you understood the pain and the trauma and the things that I've gone through, and I intentionally don't give specific information because that's an era and chapter in my life that has been annihilated. And I'm so grateful for the experiences that I've had, good and bad. I've learned so much. And if it's whatever. Love yourself, prioritize yourself. That's what I want to say. And you will see the difference. You learn to trust yourself. And it's so freeing. It's so crazy how when you go through, when I look back over the choices that I've made in my life and how things have played out for me then versus now, I see things so differently. And I'm grateful. I'm not, is everything in life perfect now? No. I am grateful. I am grateful for having the power to choose, having the power, just having my power back, having love. And that's what that does. That love you give yourself increases what you already possess. You got everything you need. And if you don't have it, you'll get it. There are other things you can prioritize. I think sometimes we accidentally treat our current life like it's in the waiting room for our real life. I did that. When I get the job, ooh, this is how it hooks you. When I make more money, when I find my person, when the kids get older, when I lose the weight, when I start the business, then I'll live. But what about now? This counts too. This random Monday counts. This season counts. This version of you counts. You don't get these years back because you were waiting for everything to become perfect. And I don't mean you should be irresponsible. I don't mean spend money you don't have or ignore your responsibilities in the name of living your best life. That's not what I'm promoting. I'm talking about giving yourself permission to experience joy inside the life you have right now. And from someone who's actively doing it, do it. This was me. I will do this when this happens. My life was literally, I was frozen, literally. And I can tell you when I froze. I can tell you when I froze, which is wild. From the time I was a child up into my early 20s, active, out, ambitious, accomplishing my goals. Everything I set out to accomplish, I accomplished. My mom said, hey, you want to go to school or you want to get a rec deal? Don't want to get a rec deal. Okay, I'm going to school. But I only want to go to school if I get a scholarship. All of these contingencies. And you know what? The more specific you are, and this counts to a later point that I'm going to make, but the more specific you are, the realer it gets. right? So I said, I'm not going to go to college unless I get a scholarship. I got the scholarship. I went to college. When I got married is when everything froze. Am I saying marriage is bad? No, not at all. It's not bad. It just, you get the right person and I believe it'll work. That wasn't my case though. The point is, the minute I froze, and when I say I froze, obviously I have new responsibilities now, right? You got a marriage, you got kids, you got all of these other, and I was just going through those motions. And once I passed through all of that, right, I burnt out because who I am, I paused that to be this wife, mom, who I am, right? Complete burnout. Complete. And so by the time I moved back home, I was running on ashes. I was actually probably just running on adrenaline. That's like, like when a chicken gets his head cut off, it doesn't know that it's dead. Like the body is still active. That was me. Still active. Didn't realize, boo, you've been frozen. And it's like, yeah, no. You need to do something completely different. And I did. And I think this is so important. When I made the decision to do things differently, it wasn't, oh, I'm going right away. No, these things take time. Sometimes it just starts with that decision. And I think this is important. Being alone isn't automatically sad. Sometimes being alone is peaceful. Sometimes it's freeing. Sometimes you learn things about yourself because nobody else's preferences are in the room. Where do I want to eat? What do I want to listen to? Where do I want to go? What do I actually enjoy? Those sound like simple questions, but you'd be surprised how many people haven't answered them. There's something beautiful about knowing that companionship can add to your life without being required for you to enjoy it. So imagine this. We're going to control alt dream, right? Let's close our eyes. You're 80 years old, and somebody gives you access to the data from your entire life. Every opportunity you took, every place you visited, every person you loved, every ridiculous decision, every adventure, every time you laughed until you couldn't breathe. But there's another category. Things you wanted to do, but didn't. And next to each one is the reason. Nobody wanted to go. I was scared. I didn't feel ready. I thought people would judge me. I was waiting. How many things would be on that list? Because I don't want to reach the end of my life with a giant database of experiences I almost had. I want stories. I want memories. I want some, girl, I don't even know why I did that. I want a life that I actually participated in. So maybe there's something you've been wanting to do. A restaurant, a concert, a class, a trip, starting the channel, writing the book, launching the business, applying for the opportunity. Whatever it is, maybe you don't need another sign. Maybe you don't need somebody to come with you. Maybe you don't need to feel completely ready. Maybe you should just go anyway. Control Alt Dream. That's it for me, y'all. That's it for me today, y'all. I'm getting ahead of myself. Short, simple, but I mean it. Don't wait for somebody else to start living your life. Invite people, love people, build community. Absolutely. But if everybody says no, sometimes go anyway. You might meet somebody. You might learn something. You might discover something about yourself. Or you might simply just have a really good night. And sometimes that's enough. I'm Shahana. This is Talk Data to Me. Stay curious. Make some memories. And as always, keep talking data to me. Peace.